Hey everyone, we're back at Staking Summit 2020. We are joined here by João Simões, founder for Inception. Yeah, thanks a lot for joining us.
Absolutely.
And I guess we'll start by just you explaining to the audience what is Inception and what's your role in the staking space.
Absolutely. So Inception started actually as one of the first, if not actually the first LRT to go live, even before EtherFi in January. So we started in August last year. By the way, I was just checking Inception here, so it's really great to have.
It was made for you.
Absolutely, man.
We change it every time.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so we started in August last year, and we really got excited about all the eigenlayer narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at like Lido, Rocket Pool with the staking industry, you see that really you need staking for the validation and for the security of Ethereum, right?
Okay.
So for me, that I have a financial background, when I saw the restaking part and like the double yields and and like the double security, all that, I really got really intrigued about it, and I joined forces with my co-founders in Dubai, where the company is based right now,
okay.
And we decided to start Inception in August last year. Actually, first I started another company, which was Genesis, that eventually merged with Inception. So
okay.
It was like two companies before, one more focused on native staking, where EtherFi is like playing the role, and Inception was mainly on the LSTs staking.
Okay.
When we merged, after a couple of months, now Inception has the 12 LSTs that exist. You can restake all the 12 plus native staking on ETH. And right now we are also rolling out also new tokens such as Eigen. You can restake Eigen token. You can restake S-Frax. You can restake now TBTC. So we are, after all these months, we saw that the new narrative really is BTC, right?
Yeah.
So after surfing the wave of ETH, and of course we are still surfing the wave on ETH, we decided that we want to be big players in two spaces, ETH and BTC. Why BTC?
Yeah.
BTC because, well, I come from the BTC side. I know that you are Portuguese, probably know a little bit more about myself. So I actually started the first Bitcoin mining firm in Portugal in 2013. So I've been in the BTC space for more than 10 years now. And if you look at BTC, is where all the money is, right? So of course ETH plays a big role, especially on DeFi, but for BTCs, where all the family office money is, like old money, I will say, all the old school crypto guys are in BTC. So what we want to do is, I want to be able to go to a family office that has 100 million, 1 billion, 100 billion on BTC and say, guys, instead of you just having this money on cold wallets, come to Inception and we can offer you 3, 4, 5% yields on your BTC instead of just having it locked in. So that is.
Can I ask you about that? So, don't you think that goes a little bit, for some people, against their ethos of BTC? And it's like, no, BTC is the safe place. It's my store of value. Why am I going to stake it? Like, what's with and with no yield at the moment, right? It's just a promise of yield. Do you think there's might be some struggle to convince people to do it?
Absolutely. And this is something that we have been working like on a daily basis now. So it's really like convincing all these BTC maxi that earning 2 or 3% on your BTC is worth it, right? But one feature that we are actually implementing on Inception, this is something that is on our roadmap for the next 1 to 2 quarters, is we are actually developing our own insurance against slashing in-house.
Okay.
So we will be able to, via a percentage of your stake, you can actually, like for example, when you stake, you can say like 1 or 2 or 3% of my stake goes to pool, and this pool will be an insurance pool. And if there is slashing, this pool is activated and you actually get parts. We will try to make it like up to 100%, but we cannot guarantee up to 100%. But we will try to at least have always 50% of your stake always insured all the time if you opt for the insurance, because some people don't want to opt in, right? So we'll make it as an optional insurance for starting, let's say, January, February next year. All our pools will have optional insurance where you can actually say, oh, I want to have insurance on my ETH, insurance on my BTC. You'll have insurance pools that will cover your stake.
Okay. Are you working with any kind of companies for this? And thinking about the regulations as well, or are you doing it all in-house?
We are definitely looking a lot into regulation. Like we are looking a lot into like Nexus Mutual. You know, this is one of the companies that are really like inspiring ourselves. But we are planning to do this in-house because we don't want any breach of security, anything.
Okay.
And we have right now 30 people on Inception. It's actually a big company now, and we are very proud to do pretty much everything in-house.
You have the personnel.
So we don't do any like third-party software houses, whatever. Now we have everything in-house, and we build everything ourselves, and there is no security breach whatsoever.
Yeah, it's the way you can be more confident about it if you do it yourself.
And a lot
right?
of audits. Like we have more than 5 audits now on Inception.
Okay,
We
nice.
kept like every month we normally do a new audit for any new feature that we release, do a new audit. So we are fully audited protocol, extremely secure and extremely safe. So that is definitely something that we are very keen and happy about. Another thing is transparency. Like when I was here at the booth, sometimes people ask me stuff like, oh, what about transparency? What about like all this information that you are telling me is on your docs? 100%. So everything that I'm teaching, I'm explaining, everything that I'm telling you, you can go on our docs and see.
Okay.
Everything is pretty much public, and we are not hiding anything.
Yeah, it's the world of blockchain. You have to do. You have to show it, right? You have to show
100%.
it. Yeah, makes sense. One thing. So you were at the summit last year, right?
Correct.
You remember the narrative was all about Eigenlayer, mostly. There was some Bitcoin talk, and I guess mostly was about that too. Some DVT as well. What do you think is the narrative this year, and what will happen over the next year in terms of staking innovation?
This is a great question. So even at Vitalik, I was hearing about Vitalik, and one thing that he said that is something that we are, even ourselves, like researching a lot about, is about like the incentives. When the incentives are over, what the hell are you going to do? So the way to tackle this subject is innovation. So you need to keep innovating, you need to keep creating like new sources of yield, new exciting things on DeFi, and you need to do a lot of integrations. It's about integration. Your bridge needs to be the best. You need to be fully omni-chain. You need to make sure that your users are have a very transparent and very like seamlessly journey. And this is something that we in Inception also we proud ourselves for the 3-click journey, where you just enter on a website, connect wallet, restake, select.
Okay, cool.
So this is something that we're really proud of. And going more deeply on your question about next year's and everything. And like I'm excited to see, for example, like what Karak is doing. Karak, when they started pitching the idea of restaked asset, it's extremely degen. Like I don't know if actually it's going to work or not, but I'm curious to see, because I don't know, like, are you going to restake assets, but then it's like leverage on leverage?
And then someone can restake the restake of the restaked assets.
Maybe. And
Crazy.
then I think that the beautiful part of it is what comes next. And what comes next is, if you are adding risk on risk, everyone will need insurance. That's why the insurance part is something that I'm very bullish on. I already heard a couple of protocols here talking about, hey, maybe we're also building insurance. Maybe we're also contracting some third party to build insurance for us.
At some point with Mika, you don't have a choice.
Exactly.
And if it goes the same way for US and for Dubai and for everywhere,
yes,
there's no you have to have it. There's no other way around.
For sure. So I think that with a lot of risk comes more responsibility. So I think that next year we'll see maybe a little bit less degen crowd, or some degen in like Karak type of infrastructures, but then you need the insurance part.
Okay.
You need to continue to evolve in a sense that you need to have your users in your platform. You need to have some way that you are improving your platform. And this is something that actually can pitch you some novelties that we are doing at Inception. This is still purely under research, and we are still building, but we hope to release it in early Jan, which is our modularity component. And what is the modularity? Modularity is, so right now, if you go on the competitor side, on the dashboard, you see that if you want to restake your assets, you need to choose, like, if you want to be on Eigen, on Symbiotic, on Karak, on Babylon, whatever.
Okay.
The way that we are building is that you will have a one-click journey. With one click, the modularity will allow you to actually be exposed to Eigen, Symbiotic, Karak, and Babylon at the same time.
Okay.
So with the help of also curators and node operators, we will be choosing like the best pools, the safest pools and the ones with the highest yields.
Okay.
Do a mix, and you'll have multiple exposures to multiple pools and multiple infrastructures with one click.
And will this be fluid? Like, okay, this vault was very good, now it's not so good.
Correct,
We
yes.
will, okay.
Absolutely,
Okay, cool.
absolutely.
Cool. Yeah.
So this is something that for us, I think it will make the whole difference next year.
Sounds really good.
Yes.
Actually, just one click and you're
because like
someone manages it for you.
Yeah, 100%. Because like what I see about users is like, of course, very expert users, they know how to use, they do the research on the pools, they do the research on the infrastructure. But if you're not an advanced user, like you are looking at everything and reading everything, you get confused, right?
Yeah, and that's like 5%. Then the rest, the 95 that you want to.
What we want is with the one-click journey of the modularity, even the most your mom, my mom, my dad, my grandmother, as a wallet, one click, exposure to Eigen, Symbiotic, Karak, and Babylon.
Brilliant, really nice.
It's clean, very, very clean.
Let's leave a little bit of the scope of this technical conversation. I know you're a guy that likes to talk about everything, so I'm at ease talking about this. We had the U.S. election.
Absolutely.
A couple of days ago. Trump won. Whatever your feelings about that, what do you think it will be the result of the election result, so to speak, in terms of staking and crypto in general?
Yeah, so I was actually discussing this with a friend of mine yesterday, and so you saw that there was this imminent bull market almost throughout the whole year, right? It was like going bull,
almost
but then
there, almost there.
not really there, going neutral, going bull, going neutral, going bull, going neutral. And when Trump won, I think it was like the final piece of the puzzle that everyone was waiting to really put like all the positive sentiment, because crypto is about sentiment. The financial market is about sentiment, but like crypto is really about emotional, it's like very emotional. So when you see the guy that went on BTC Nashville doing the speech saying, yeah, BTC forever, blah, 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 actually winning, and everyone's like, okay, now is the time. Everyone just pumping that, and then I saw on Twitter, like even the ETF people, like the BlackRocks, saying like, we are happy. BlackRock is happy, people happy, markets happy, you have new all-time high, new all-time high, new all-time high. I think it was like 2 all-time highs in a row, if I'm not mistaken. I think we are in the middle of a big bull run.
Okay, so 2025 should be a good year for crypto, you'd say?
2025 is an extremely good year for crypto, 100%.
And how would it impact staking in general, do you think?
More users.
More users.
More users, and if you have more volatility and more trading, more yields.
More fees. Okay.
More fees, more
yields.
Of
course. Makes sense.
So I will say that it will be a beautiful year.
Nice, yeah.
Very, very
beautiful.
Right.
I hope you're right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, but I agree with you.
Actually, like we are like literally like months away from our TGE, and we already like starting having messages from our investors saying like, "Hey man, TGE right now, all time high. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, no, it's going to be good. It's going to be very, very good. Very
nice.
good.
I hope so. Let's just wrap it up. I wanted to ask you about the summit. Are you liking it so far? If you had a chance to watch any keynotes that you liked, I don't know if you had a chance to see Vitalik. Yeah. And what you're expecting to bring home with you from the summit.
So this summit for us is of course a very technical summit, right? All the validators, all the infrastructure providers are here. So for us it's a great place to see old friends, partners. We just before this interview talking with a couple partners from Inception, validators that we are working with, looking into new infrastructures, like we just talk with the guys from Rocket Pool, for example, and maybe we can do some kind of integration there, looking at the staking side of old school staking, So excited, it's about looking at old partners, looking at new partners, and everyone is here. So congrats on that, because everyone in the staking industry
it's great. It's great.
Everyone. So for us, it's really exciting, and also I know Mirko for a long time. Actually, Mirko was one of the first investors of our protocol.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, nice.
He's actually one of the first angels that invested in us. So
cool.
For me, he's like a very old friend, very good friend. So for me, it's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay, so if you want to share with the viewers where they can find you and find about Inception, go ahead.
Absolutely. So InceptionLRT.com, everything is there, the links for the docs, everything. So go on our Discord, participate on our community, and our community is very, very active. We do I think 2 or 3 calls per week on community on Discord, so it's pretty good. And look out for the best yields and look out for the modularity. Thank you.
Cool. We'll add the links in the description below. And João,
thank you so much.
Thanks again, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.